Today's speaker is, yes, it's you, Orhun. Please come up here to start the show.
Thank you, guys. So, guys, first time in Japan, pretty good atmosphere, nice people. I'm pretty happy to be here. Also, to be able to, give this talk and workshop. We're gonna just jump right into it. I'm afraid we don't have much time, so I just want to leave time for the workshop. So, Tokyo Rust Meetup. Who am I, first of all? You might be asking, who is this guy with a, well, I don't have a rat under my hat, don't get me wrong, but so I am coming from Turkey, Ankara, the capital. I've been involved in open source Rust and terminals for some time. This is actually how I got into Rust. I saw there was a TUI RS library, and the rest is history. But yeah, I am mostly known with these projects, and mostly Ratatui these days. Doing packaging for Arch Linux, by the way. I have a YouTube channel which I am live right now. Hey people, and yeah, you can just find me on GitHub with the handle Orhun, which is my name. So let's just dive into it. Imagine a rat. There you go. So rat wants to download MP3 files, right? Rat goes to YouTube MP3 downloader.cc.org, whatever, and so on. Because that's like the easiest way, let's imagine. And you get hella ads, a bunch of things pop into your face and you just click something, get a virus, ransomware, and boom, your company is just gone. Rat is sad. Imagine rat again. Rat wants to find cheese.txt. Rat uses file search, and let's imagine rat is on Windows 10. You just get this green bar, just working on it, still working on it. And it just takes forever. So rat just goes to YouTube and just, tries to find a solution to that problem. There's a 30-minute tutorial on how to fix this. And there is a 4-minute follow-up onto the fix. Like, what the hell is going on here? So rat is just like confused, like what is this? Imagine rat again. I'm sorry. Rat wants to monitor the network traffic. This rat is a bit more like, tech rat. So rat runs a GUI tool, like let's say Wireshark or something. And then you just end up clicking everywhere. You just click this menu, click that thing, download the packet file and just, upload it to somewhere and so on. So rat just explodes. Solution to those problems, the terminal. You can just download an MP3 file with this command. You can use a tool called Interactive Grab, IG, to just search anything in your files. So I'm just going to run this. I just searched fn main in all of my clone GitHub repos, and if I just press enter, I'll just start editing it in my editor. Easy. You can just find cheese easily. And for monitoring the network traffic, you can just run a tool called Oryx. Hopefully I won't expose my root password here. Okay, so you see all the connections, stats. Is it lagging? I don't know. Yeah, you can just see everything there. Hopefully it's still running, but I have so many connections because of the live stream, so it might have crashed. I have no idea. Okay. So the last thing that I showed you was a TUI. And a TUI is basically a terminal user interface that runs in the terminal. You guys are already familiar with this, I think. We use Ratatui in Rust to build those things. And Ratatui is simply a library that's been around since 2023. We have a bunch of contributors. We have some contributors here, actually. We have we have hundreds of apps. We have some app authors here. We have a bunch of downloads, and there's a list of things, like list of the known tools or TUIs here. And today, Ratatouille is used by these companies, these big companies, and many more. So everything is going well. And today, hopefully, you'll get an idea of how to get started with Ratatouille. And there's a demo from our examples. Simply just to give you an idea, you can have lists, tables, stuff like these. This is a Sparkline widget, and a bunch of UI elements in the terminal using Ratatouille. I'm going to show you some cool tools just to give you an idea what you can build. So this is basically a Postman, but in the terminal, like fully running in the terminal. You can just import all your HTTP requests and it just works like Postman. And you don't have to use Postman after this, basically. There's this one which is quite nice. You can just view documents using docs. You gotta read a file. You get like docx file from your coworker because they use Windows 7, and then you kind of need to open that. You don't want to upload it to Google Drive or whatever, so you can just use docs. There's this game called Rebels in the Sky. Ratatouille is not just about system tools and so on, so you can actually build games. I'm gonna actually start a new game here. It's hard to do it while I'm holding the microphone. 1 second. Yeah, we're just choosing planets in the terminal. You can customize your character, get a spaceship, select some guys, and hey, let's sail to the cosmic waves. You can use your mouse too, and it's basically, there's a tutorial too, goddamn. So you have your crew, you have your, this is where we at now. You get the idea. Yeah, I wanna exit this. There's also another game called Shout Out Ratatouille from Roland over here. He's just looking at me. And just to show you how it looks like, I'm gonna run the demo. And boom, you have, maybe he can explain it better, but it's a shadow run TUI that you can just talk to an agent or you just follow a story. We have a live stream together where I played the game. It was quite fun. And you can also render images in the terminal. You can just create a character and see your character in the terminal and so on. It's pretty cool. We have this music project called Grainiac. So I'll just run the demo. Basically, the thing that's happening here is that there's this MIDI keyboard that Christian is playing, and then you kind of have this UI where you see little particles moving around, and just creates a really nice ambient-like music. And he just wanted to use the terminal because it's very straightforward and looks really good aesthetically. Moving on. So we have this library called Tachyon FX, which enables you to render animations in the terminal, like shader-like animations. I'm going to show you the demo. So this right now entirely renders in the terminal, and all the animations are simply just characters being rendered in some ways to create this animation effects. And you can simply just plug this into your Ratatouille app to have similar animations or anything you like, basically. And you can also run this on embedded. I will show you a demo later. Okay, let's exit this if possible. All right. You can build websites with Ratatouille. This is my project, Ratzilla. You can simply just run this whole TUI demo on the web. I'll try to show it bigger. Oops. Okay, there you go. It's basically the same code running in the terminal and also running on a website. So if you want to build terminal-looking websites, this is the tool for you, or the library for you. Okay, enough. Let me just show you. This section is important because at the end we will implement some of these things, hopefully. So I'll just give you some boring, hopefully not boring, implementation details. So we have these widgets, a bunch of them. I won't explain everything there, but maybe show you some of these. And we have some key concepts, rendering, layout, and event handling. So these three is what you need if you want to start building TUIs. But before I show you the specifics, here's a minimal example. So how does a TUI work? What is the life cycle? How do we handle everything? You know, is it like stateful, or what is it similar to, right? So first of all, you need to create a terminal, and this is done by the unit call. Then this is how you interact with the whole terminal. Then you need to create a loop, because Ratatouille is immediate mode rendering, which means in every iteration you re-render everything basically. So you have a state, you just re-render everything in a loop. And the rendering step happens in the draw call. In the draw call you get a frame, and using this frame you just render anything. In this case it's rendering a text, but you can put anything there that implements the widget trait basically. And then you need to check for events. Here I'm just checking if I press the key. If I press something, you just exit. And then you need to restore your terminal, because a terminal UI is another, you can think it as another buffer. So you go to another buffer, you need to come back to your previous terminal to be able to use it again. So you just restore it. So we have even more minimal example. This is not released yet, but with Ratatouille 0.30, we added the run method, which abstracts away all the init and restore. So you can just call Ratatouille run, gives you a terminal, you create a loop, in the loop you render whatever you want. In this case it's just rendering rat, and then you can check for events there basically. And in this closure is basically all the lifecycle of your TUI app. When it comes to rendering, like I said, it's immediate mode. So give you an example, you have the state called toggle, and based on this toggle state you can render one widget or another widget. So you can either render a bar chart or line gauge and so on. So you basically have this life cycle where people usually just create an abstract where you have all the states, and based on the state you just render something or another thing. So when it comes to layout, let's say you want to split the available area into two. How do you do that? You basically create a layout, then you specify a direction, so horizontal, and then you need to specify some constraints. These are basically saying have a 10 character, so 10 line limit, and then take the 70% of the available area, and then 5 characters more, and basically like specify these constraints to split or specify a layout. And you can just call split on an area. One example of that is, let's say you have a list of messages that grow over time. So if you have like 50 messages, just use 80% of the area. If you have less than 50 messages, just use the half of the area, so 50%. We have some demos actually. Constraint Explorer is one of them. Let's see if it's gonna run. Okay, there you go. So you can basically select different constraints, change the constraint type, and see how they interact with each other with some flex layouts. And this can be like customized to see how things are working together and so on. So you can just run this demo, specify some constraints, and design your layout. We have a flex example. I won't get into that now. So event handling is done with different backends. We have, for the terminal, we have Crossterm, Termion, and Termis. I will mention the third-party backends. But there are a lot of ways you can handle the events, basically. You can just have centralized event handling, which is done in a loop. You can have, I don't know, message passing, and so on. So Ratatouille's architecture changed a bit for, in the last release. We haven't released this, but now we have, we modularize the crates, so you can use different parts in your application. And this this made us thinking, why are we stopping here? We have this modular architecture, we can just run Ratatouille on different things, right? So Ratatouille is now running on a car dashboard. This is Suzuki Baleno, and some guy wanted to just run Ratatouille on the dashboard, see the fuel and ignition and engine speed and so on. Big shout out to him. I have Ratatouille running on my PSP because one day I was just playing a game and I was like, I should just run TUIs on this. Why am I playing a game, bro? So this is now possible with Rust PSP library. So we call these stuff Ratatuifying because, you know, it's a cool term, and, you know, more people started to run Ratatouille on different things. So how is this possible? Like I said, you can have different backends, and if you implement this trait, these functions on anything, any screen, any concept, you can basically draw on that thing. So people have created different backends. We have an UFI backend for bootloaders. We have Mousefood, which I'm going to talk about today. We have EGUI, Bevy, and so on. So these different backends enables you to render TUIs on different platforms. So Ratzilla is a good example because we have multiple backends in Ratzilla. The website that I showed you was running, I think, WebGL2, but you can also like use Canvas, like HTML Canvas, or you can use the DOM directly, and so on. I will show you. But today we'll talk about Mousefood backend. So this is for embedded applications. I guess you have already read the preparation step, and we have some ESP32s for you to play with today.
So let's do this. It's a little difficult to see who's actually here to participate. So if you signed up to be in the workshop, please raise your hand and I'll come give you one of these little devices. And you'll have to give it back in the end. And we'll have a competition for the things that you all will have built. And the top 3 prizes are going to be each one of these little devices. All right, please raise your hand and I'll come and give you one.
All right. So now, please, if you're getting an ESP32, make sure that you have all the tools installed. Like, do you have a question or are you waiting for it? Okay. So there's a script, by the way. This is what you need to do to be able to run Mousefood on these devices. There's like everything is on the documentation. So let's know a bit about the hardware that we're getting. So this is ESP32 T-Display. We have some specs on the screen, can read it. But I think the most important one is we have a display on this. So normally ESP32 is like there's some other variants here. These ones does not have a built-in display, but this is like a really good one because you can actually use the display. And the reason why this talk is called like pocket size is because, you know, this just fits in your pocket like this. Does anybody remember the famous Steve Jobs announcing iPod? You know, just like, anyways. All right, so we have some frameworks that you can use with ESP32 and Rust. Today we're gonna use ESP IDF Hall because it has STD. It's gonna be easier for us to use. And it's actually a bit difficult to install, but whatever. You gotta install ESP up, and then ESP up install will just install everything for you. And to flash programs onto this, you need to use ESP Flash. And you don't need to run ESP Flash, it's automatically being run in your cargo config. So if you run cargo run, it will be run automatically, so you don't have to do anything. So like I said, we will use Mousefood, and here's how it looks like when you use a different backend. First, you need to create your display. This is coming from the embedded graphics library. And I already do this for you in the template. And then you just give this display to the backend. So backend is from Mousefood. This kind of like transforms your display into a Ratatouille backend. And then you can just, you know, create the terminal from that. And in a loop, you can just draw or like do whatever, you know, just the usual Ratatouille calls there. So if you have the device, it would be nice if you can just like run this real quick. You also need a USB-C cable. Just plug it in, try to run this if you clone the repo. I guess people have already done this, but yeah, if you haven't, you can do it. Or if you don't want to build everything, you can just run the ESP flash command over here, just to flash the pre-built binary. If you cannot like figure it out, or if you have any problems, we have a simulator in the same repo, so you can use that. But you know, having it run on the embedded would be even nicer, I think. And the simulator works the same. You create a display, you create a backend, and you can just use the terminal and so on. Yeah, it requires SDL2, so there's an additional dependency. So in case you run this thing and you see something on it, you might be asking, what can we do? Can we just like show text on this or whatever? Well, you can actually learn guitar with this. I have my own project here which runs Ratatouille and Mousefood. So this is something that I built and presented at Rust Forge in New Zealand. The talk is on YouTube. So this thing can do some things. So I built this because I'm playing guitar. I'm not playing guitar, I'm still learning guitar. And I'm just gonna turn it on. It's entirely based on Ratatouille and Rust. There's some demos here. It's called Tuitar, by the way, because, you know, GUIs and TUIs and so on. There's this link to the talk if you want to watch me play the guitar and showcase this. One cool thing that you can also see it from this screenshot is that there's actually a new widget being rendered on here. You can also just pass this around and have a look if you guys want. Anyone want to take a closer look? You can just press the buttons and play around with this. This widget over here is showing the guitar strings like on the fretboard. I needed this, and I implemented a new widget from this. So if you need like custom views, if the stock widgets are not enough for you, you can just implement a widget like this. And like I said, the trait you need to implement is just widget or stateful widget, and then you'll have a fretboard view, something like this. And the API looks like this. It's very customizable. So you can just, if you have this guitar, let's say, hopefully not, you can just like render this type of fretboard as well. And it also runs in the terminal. That is horrible feedback, but you get the idea. Same thing runs in the terminal, also on embedded. All right, if you want more stuff, it sounds like I'm just advertising my own project, which is exactly what I'm doing, but we can just take a look at other projects. So this is an IRC client running on this device, just showing messages from IRC. I don't know why you would need that, but if you, yeah, cheating exams and talking to your friends in your pocket, like, I don't know, but you can do stuff like this because you have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth in your device. You can do cool stuff. This is a mobile operating system experimentation, and Julian aims to just have a whole, like a phone with Ratatouille on it. There's like a keyboard widget over there and so on. So that's another example. You can also have these type of animations on the Tuitar. I also use these animations, and these are pretty slick actually. Uses Tachyon effects. So that's all the applications that I'm going to show you, and I think you have an idea now. Let's just focus on what you want to build and what you want to, make come true. So guys, let's just cook. I have my apron here. This is just, I'm going to wear this one second. Just have to do this at every talk now. hopefully you have done this. You have all the tools and everything you need. If you don't have like anything on the screen, or if you're having problems, just check the troubleshooting section, or I can come next to you and help you out. There's this template project in the template. That was a weird sentence. But the structure is basically this. You don't have to care about libRs, buttonRs, or setupRs. All you gotta care about is mainRs. So mainRs looks like this. I have abstracted away all the other parts, like initializing the hardware and so on, in the setup module and so on. So in the mainRs, you basically have an application state, and there's a draw method which you can just draw whatever you want, basically. You can check out the docs.rs page for the different widgets and so on, and you can just render anything there. You can handle the button presses on your device. It just gives you like a button object, and you can just interact with this to set some state. If you have run the template, you'll see that if you press a button, it will show which button is pressed and so on. And that's all you need to know about this template. This is like all you gotta be exposed, basically. And yeah, you can try one of these to just get started. Change the text, add colors, change the layout, render different widgets and so on. And on the Ratatui repo, we have some widget examples. We have documentation for everything and so on. So yeah, now I'll give you some ideas on what to build and experiment. So I listed some of them here. You can build a timer. I think that would be fun. You can build a Tamagotchi or Ratagotchi or something, like little game, or you can show random codes. If you are, if you want to build like an actual like playable and cool game, you can try to build Snake or Tetris. Probably not enough time for that here, but you just need to use the buffer, like the Ratatouille buffer, to draw some cells and like make a game. You can just you draw some ASCII art too. You can use the third-party widgets like TUI big text to render big text, for example, or there are like other cool stuff. I have this text rendered with TUI big text. So if you want to render like bigger text, you can just like use this crate. So, yep. And hopefully some people will build something and we can just show and tell. That's all with the talk part. And if you're building something, or if you have questions, just raise your hand and I will come chat with you. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, like the video. This guy is locked in, man. He's grinding hard, man. It's fire, he's on fire. There's actually smoke coming up from the keyboard. You cannot see it, but...
Does Ratatouille have a wrapping function for like text?
Text wrapping? Yeah, we have the paragraph widget, which supports wrapping, but it's very basic. If you want to do more like complicated stuff, there's a crate called text wrap. You can just get your process your text into that and then turn the output into lines.
Okay.
That will be just more safe.
Okay.
Yeah. No worries. I just want to show you a cool thing that... What's your name again? What's your name?
师傅, you can call me Jose.
Jose built. So, what is this exactly?
It's a BPM counter, and you can price the button and the BPM will be changed.
Maybe show it to the camera so people can see it from there.
What is it? Like a top 10. It counts how many times you press. Holy hell, cool.
Really great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, I have built this this afternoon on my MacBook.
Don't say that.
It's just so.
Don't say that.
I'm very happy that I didn't change some many code. I can smoothly move my code to the ESP32. It's cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Show to the camera.
This is, can you see it there? So it just makes a random set of numbers every time the update function is called, and then it uses that widget there to draw them. And then when you press the bottom button, actually, can you hold my computer?
Sure.
When you press the bottom button, then it also updates the bar there. I wanted to use a timer, but I ran out of time, pardon the pun. And then there's 3 different pages that you can go to with the top button, depending on, but I didn't have time to fill in the other ones. Maybe it would be nice if I had an extra hour or so. But, I had some help from a powerful programmer. And remember the saying, you won't lose your job to AI, you'll lose a job to the guy who knows how to use AI. Thanks, Claude. Oh, and I worked with IoT enough to know that it's really true what you say. You set it all up before you come, or you'll spend the whole night setting it up.
Cheers to that.
Legend.
Anthropic should sponsor us. Thanks for trying, Claude.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great job.
Oh,
You can hold your computer if you want.
There you go.
So
Just hold this and make sure it's close enough.
I made a little
Fortune display. This is actually a list of shalatos from Reddit. It's about 10,000 quotes that I pre-processed the Fortune file at compile time. Make an array of that, include it in the program, and then display a sequential one, different one each time. I wanted to make it random, but I also ran out of time.
Cool. Very nice.
What does it say right now? Let's get a Fortune. Do not touch would probably be a really unsettling thing to read in Braille.
right?
Right on.
Damn, so many cool things.
We have 3 minutes left. This is probably the last one.
You can hold your computer if you want.
Which company? I have the timetable for Japanese training.
Too close.
Because it's very difficult to find the timetable on the platform, but you can immediately check which train is coming when you have this one.
Nice.
Yeah, and you can. It's not accurate for now, but you can connect API.
Connect to Wi-Fi and
Yeah, connect Wi-Fi, and you can choose emerald line and show line and application consent.
nice.
We're gonna get sponsored by JR as well. Amazing.
Any closing words?
People are cooking, man. It's impressive that they can do that in so little time. Like, I barely got time to understand the file system.
Thank you for your participation, Roland. Thank you, sir.
Let's do that again next year, and I'll
Yeah, next time. Any closing words?
I finally got it to work, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I made a funny little bomb diffuser game. Like you try to.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes. So you have to follow the taps and you have to try to defuse the bomb by following the instructions.
Nice.
It worked. But yes, I would not recommend trying to do this through WSL2.
All right, you guys heard it.
Yes.
Don't use Windows. That's the message, and we are ending with that note.
Thank you for coming. There's going to be another one in November. Stay tuned. And that's it for tonight. Hope you all had fun. Thank you, Orhun, for joining us here.
My pleasure. Just want to say 8 minutes left. All right. All right, user interviews. Roland, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, and you're in Japan, so what else can I ask for?
What is your dream Rust project?
Becoming Orhun.
Okay. What is missing in Rust?
I think more resource for complete beginners, because most of Rust developers are fucking chads, and for complete beginners it's kind of hard to get starting with Rust, even if it's a very good language for that.
All right, do you have any Rust projects?
I do have Rust projects. I have a game that's called Charade Ratatui. I'm starting to work on a universal knowledge graphing interface, and then kind of a schema inference project as well.
So when did you start using Rust, and now comparing that point in your life with now, what has changed?
A lot less AI use, because I realized that using AI is actually detrimental to my learning and my enjoyment. So I use it maybe 2 years, not even 2 years. I'm learning Rust right now.
Do you say you are more or less depressed after Rust?
My first laptop was an Acer.
That's a good question. When I ship, I'm less depressed. When I cannot code and cannot grind enough, more depressed. But yeah, it's a on and off thing. What about you, man? Are you doing good?
No.
It's a good balance.
Come on. Rust will make you happy. You just don't grind enough.
Thank you for saying that, guys. We have a Discord, grindhouse.dev. If you wanna, just hang out with us, right? What do you think about Grindhouse?
Grindhouse is awesome, if a little intimidating, because everybody are super.
That's a good thing.
Super good in there, but yeah, it's an awesome community. It's the most active and reactive, nice community that I know of.
All right.
With one exception that I won't tell about.
All right. Thank you for becoming part of the interview, man.
It's a pleasure, man.
All right, guys, let's interview someone else. This guy was a bit weird. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. What's your name? What are you doing?
My name is Armandas. I work in the space industry as an embedded engineer. And actually, I do run currently a Rust workshop on this low device, which is super. I'm grateful to have this workshop to give me a reference to work with.
Great. So how did you find the setup and everything so far? Because we had some preparation steps. I don't know if it was like hard or like easy for you. How was it?
I've used ESP-IDF and ESP before, so it was fairly straightforward. I had most of the stuff on my PC already. I had just to port a few things for this microcontroller because it's a different device, but other than that, it was quite good.
Is there any Ratatui project that you want to build after this?
No, actually, I was thinking very hard what I would want to build during this workshop, and I don't have so many good ideas.
We have some ideas for you, don't worry. Okay, thanks for being part of the interview. All right, guys, just moving around, looking for new victims. Where's Shingo? Shingo, you want to be a part of the interview?
Okay. Yeah, I don't speak English fluently, so please be patient with me.
Yeah. Sure. So how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, how
You
about
can
you?
sit down, by the way.
Okay.
We can both sit down. We don't appear on the.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, what is your experience with Ratatui?
Well, I don't have any experience in actually, but I love to lead your source code, so I enjoy to contribute to the project. Yeah.
Guys, this guy is saying he doesn't have any experience, but he already created 2-3 PRs, right?
Yeah.
So he's like very prolific contributing to the project. Really appreciate that. Thank you in behalf of the team and just personally. So doing great work out there, man.
Thank you.
All right. Anything you want to say to us before I leave for somebody else? Any message to the world out there?
Well, you got to be here. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right, Mate over here.
It should be trivial to move it.
Do you want to do a little interview? Just doing user interviews or like?
We have 2 minutes, so why don't we do it at the end, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, guys, you rejected.
How long does it take?
I'm just gonna ask a couple of questions. That's all.
Okay, go ahead.
How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent.
All right, thank you, guys. We're just going to get prepared. So.
All right, but.
Just stay tuned, I guess.
All right. Back to you.
Hopefully that was fun.